Alright, we're back. Last time we got through, we made some more progress in Magma Hideout. Made it to Hell Room, deathless to this point. Had a bit of a scare with Grunt 1 in Hell Room. But fortunately we got some good luck and we got out deathless. So deathless so far in Magma Hideout. That will probably change tonight. We got 4 fights left in the hideout, all in Magma Hideout Hell Room. So I got stumped on the second Grunt in Hell Room, and I think I figured it out. I've got this one ready to go. I think I've got my plan for it. And then I've got Tabitha and Maxi. So I've got 3 of the 4 fights planned. We'll do this one, plan the next one, and then probably take on Tabitha and Maxi tonight. Is the plan. I thought I was going to do it last night, but this fight, this one put me through the ringer. This one took me a while to solve. So I think I'm still going to lead Beedrill here. Beedrill's going to bait. Probably fake out turn 1, but it could be slow kill Darkest Lariat. Slow kill is a bit better, but I don't think it matters too much if we take the chip on Beedrill. So we'll lead B. Will U-turn into Golisopod, who needs to be at 178 HP. So that we always exit from Darkest Lariat. If we get faked out on B, we U-turn, and then it's play rough for Darkest Lariat. We'll always exit, and then we can go back into B and kill with a Leech Life and recover a little bit of HP. So we should bait Turtonator. We can U-turn with B into our new friend Jellicent, who walls this thing out pretty well. It's random move Overheat Draco. It could be Scorching Sands too, which is more unlikely. I think it's fine if we get burned on Jelly. It's not ideal, but I think it's okay. We switch into Jelly. We're a ghost type, so we can switch out. We don't have to shed shell this guy. And then Turtonator's going to eject once it clicks Draco or Overheat. If we get Scorching Sands on the switch, we can recover until he clicks Draco and ejects. So we've got U-turn ship on him, and that should bring an Incineroar knockoff, never fake out. So this Incineroar was a big pain in the ass to prep around. I was trying to find a way to either slow flip turn with Prim or somehow get into Beedrill to kill this guy. Beedrill just takes too much damage on every move. But Jellicent and Baits never fake out. Because if I were to go Prim, I could set something up with Prim for a Turtonator to eject and then go into Incineroar and I've got the matchup. But we just take way too much with fake out on Earthquake and Magma Storm. It adds up super quickly. But we can go Jelly, Bait knockoff into Itemless Prim, and then slow flip turn out. And I think if we take knockoff crit into Earthquake crit, I think we lose Prim on double crit. I think I can afford 1 because we'll take 2 turns of Magma Storm plus a max of 90% from the 2 moves. I guess this is 100%. Or it's just the 1 turn of Magma Storm on the switch in because we flip turn out before Magma Storm hits turn 2. So if this EQ crit, I think I am dead to double crit is the risk. Double crit high rolls. I couldn't find anything better than that. I'm going to roll with it. So slow flip turn with Prim. I can't go Mystic Water because we're switching in on knockoff. I can't go Citrus. We're swapping on knockoff. So we have to be itemless, unfortunately. We don't get intimed with Prim. And then we flip turn. If I high roll this, I'm going to try and watch for the roll. If I high roll, I can go into B and kill with Leech Life. I don't know if that's any better, though. I think I probably won't do that. But it was kind of an option. I was trying to see if I could set up Beedrill here. I think with the Candy, Beedrill can always kill from flip turn. But I'm going to slow flip turn into Shed Shell, Gallade. Gallade's pretty good on this guy. We're inner focus in case I wanted to get this guy out when Incineroar came out. So we can't be faked out, can't be intimed, and we can just outspeed and kill with CC. But because of the chip from Beedrill earlier, with the U-turn on... Or just kidding, this guy isn't chipped yet. We chip with Prim with flip turn. And then we can kill with Drain Punch. And then we'll always heal back up to full and take 1 turn of Magma Storm Tick. Because we're faster. And because we're getting in on slow flip turn. So Gallade at 88%. I figured the exact HP of what it was earlier. I think it's like 192 after Magma Storm. We always barely bait Turtonator for slow, for out damage and slower than us. It's like by a few HP points, but I think it's pretty consistent because we're consistently at 192 HP. So it should always be Turtonator. If Jump Love comes out, it's a problem, but I think Turtonator should always come out. So we're 219 HP divided by 8. We take 27 HP per Magma Storm Tick. So we should always be at 192. So we get Turtonator out. And then we can Drain Punch turn 1. This guy's chipped from Beedrill U-turn earlier for 25. So we can always kill with the Drain Punch. Heal back to full. Take a Draco Overheat. I think he can protect tier 2, which is also fine. We just want to make sure we take 1 Draco Overheat. And Drain Punch, crit. I guess we can't crit because he's Shell Armor. So we go for Drain Punch. And then we're actually going to kill this guy with Close Combat. So that Jump Love always sees a kill. Once we bait kill from Jump Bluff, it's a little risky with this guy, but this is the safest line I could find. We're gonna go Manectric, and we're gonna try to we're gonna go Manectric Chesto and try and Volt Switch on this guy. Best case scenario, it's either Leech Seed, Spore, or Air Slash non-flinch. If it's Substitute, it starts to get a little spooky, but we do have a plan for that. We also potentially have a goalie exit in the back too. Depending on if we get crit from Grimmsnarl or not. So that's the plan. We're gonna run this one up. And we'll see how it goes. So we need Bee, Jelly, Goalie, Prim, Gallade, and then I do need to fly to Leverage. We'll pick up Manectric once we get there. Beedrill will go Beedrillite. Jellicent, we can go Citrus Berry. Golisopod will go Citrus. Prim will go No Item. And Gallade will be Shed Shell. Manectric will be Chesto Berry. I looked at also using like Dragonite for this guy with a Shed Shell and pre-toxicking. We can do a Wing Beat and break sub if it does go for sub. And we're inner focus, we can't be flinched. But I think if it set up a couple of substitutes, it got a little spooky. I just didn't feel super confident going Dragonite. Like if it went Leech Seed sub or something like that. Because we'd be switching in on an Air Slash, taking Magma Storm chip. And we could take like 3 turns of Air Slash. And I have to Shed Shell because Licky Licky's in the back. With only Explosion on its moveset. So these are the guys we're going to be running out. This one took me a little while to figure out. I think it's... I guess we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. I want goalie at 178 though. Elusive will poison. And then pre-damage this guy down. One too much. Goalie at 178. Let me just check goalie at 178. Darkest Lariat Mineral is 76. Brings us down to 102. Always exits. Darkest Lariat can't miss, I don't believe. And then same with Play Rough. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yo, what's up, Dalton? Mom, Dad, Danny, Lily. Good to see you all. Oh, these are blue light glasses. I wear them so my eyes don't get fried. I started wearing them for work, and then when I'm playing games here, they help a ton. It's like night and day on the strain on my eyes when I wear these, so that's what whole crew is here. Love it, love it. We're about to go into a pretty big fight here. This is the farthest I've gotten in this game. I've been on this attempt to beat this game since, I think, mid-September. So it's been like a month and a half to get to this point. This one fight alone took me... Dude, I couldn't do it. I was losing eyesight. It was too much strain. I had to wuss out and go for the glasses. This one fight took me like at least an hour or two to prep, I think. This is a tough one. Of what I've heard, this is one of the hardest parts of the game. So if we lose any of our Pokemon, we're playing with like more difficult rules. So if any of our Pokemon die, it's dead forever. We can never use it again. We only get one Pokemon per route, so there's a set limit that we can catch. We can't just keep catching them. Can't catch them all, unfortunately. And then this game, it just has, it's not like it's a normal Pokemon game, but it's called a ROM hack. So it's typically more difficult, or it is more difficult than kind of a regular Pokemon game. We can't just kind of over level and brute force our way through this game. There's Tom has some whiskeys in him. Good man, good man. I'm sipping a Mountain Dew for this one, trying to wire up. Love it though. Yeah, there's like strict level caps, so we can't just like grind and get super strong Pokemon and brute force through the game. It takes some thinking out to navigate these fights. I'll try and explain everything as I go. There's a lot going on. Basically, for you guys that don't know Pokemon, they each come with 4 moves. And we send out one of ours, the other guy sends out one of theirs. We can bring 6 Pokemon max. They usually bring anywhere between like 3 to 6, depending on the trainer. And we can either use attacking moves to try and kill them, or special effect moves to kind of like set us up. So this guy has Recover. We can recover back some of our HP if we get hit. Yeah, that's kind of the big thing to know. We each bring 6 Pokemon, and then we're gonna try and KO all 6 or all 5 in this case of theirs before we take a hit. Sue wanted to watch a stream, told her it's XL. It can be. So I've got 4 fights that I'm gonna do tonight. This one I've got already prepped out, which this is where I do all my prep work. So this is like a battle simulator called the Calculator, or the Calc, amongst the people who run this game. So in this like bottom left corner down here, these are our guys that we're bringing. This is our team that's kind of on the bench, or in our box, that we're not going to bring to this fight because we can only bring 6. These are the 5 that we're going up against down here. And then, yeah, it's just a built-out calculator, so like what are the damage percents that each move that we can use does. How about for them, if there's certain terrain effects, certain abilities, certain items, all of this is going to affect how much damage we can do and how much damage we'll take, or we could take. So this is where the magic happens. This is where I spend a lot of time in, especially as we get later in the game. But I've got the prep done for this one. I'll do some prep for the next one, and then the last 2 I've got planned out. So we'll yeah, let's just go jump into this fight. We've got everyone set up. This guy is pre-damaged a little bit. He's not fully healthy. And we will get into that. So the part of the game that we're in now, it is Magma Hideout. Magma Hideout Hell Room. So it is called. And basically what that means, there's going to be a permanent terrain effect up called Magma Storm, where we're going to take damage each turn, and then we can't switch out in battle unless we're a Ghost-type Pokemon, we're holding a Shed Shell, or we're using a move like U-turn or Volt Switch. Makes this part of the game particularly difficult. So we managed to get through the first fight of Hell Room last night, okay. It got a little scary, but we got out alright. And then we've got 4 more in this part of the game. We've already fought, I think, 15, or we've fought 13 guys to get to this point within Magma Hideout. Each room we can pick up a different encounter of Pokemon. There's different encounter tables, so some are better than others, some have different uses. I have not gotten my Magma Hideout encounter yet. We're gonna try and save that for a heavy hitter later on. We could technically get it now within Hell Room, but it's going to be pretty tough to catch at this level cap that we're at. So all of our Pokemon, we're at level 79. We can't go above that level, bar certain circumstances with a few items around the map. But we're pretty much locked in at level 79. I don't think I need that encounter yet, so we're going to wait a little bit to give us a better chance at catching it later. Okay, we fought this guy. And then this kind of dust storm that we see brewing in this part of the map. This is the Magma Storm. This is Hell Room. Let's go ahead and save in front of this guy in case anything funky happens. Just out of habit more than anything. One last check, make sure we've got all the right items on our guys. And then let's hope I did this prep right. It's pretty easy to wipe at this point in the game, lose all of our Pokemon. If we do lose the battle and we lose all 6, we have to reset to the very beginning of the game. So the last 6 or 7 weeks or whatever of this run to get to this point, starting from mid-September, all of that just goes out the window and we gotta start fresh back at the truck. So let's hope that doesn't happen. We're planning to get through this one. Yeah, let's get into it. This is Grunt 14 in Magma Hideout, Grunt 2 in Hell Room. So he's gonna lead with this guy, this spooky Grimmsnarl. And Grimmsnarl, well, here's the Magma Storm. So that's the field effect that we're trapped in. We're gonna take damage every turn, and we can't switch out unless we're a Ghost, we've got a Shed Shell, or we're using U-turn or something. Beedrill does have U-turn, so we're not permanently trapped in here. So we're gonna click this move. It probably doesn't matter because this guy's gonna try and use a move to flinch us where we can't move this turn. But we're gonna Mega Evolve our Beedrill. Basically, Beedrill, he turns from this regular guy who's kind of weak, not super fast, gets bodied by all other Pokemon, and then once we Mega Evolve, he turns into an absolute killing machine. So we're gonna Mega Evolve and click U-turn. Grimmsnarl actually doesn't go for Fake Out. That was a pretty low chance. Yeah, Grinner Snarl. Yep, Grimmer. He doesn't go for Fake Out there, which I think is actually good. So we save a little bit of HP on Beedrill. And then, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going to go into Golisopod to tank the incoming hit. So our friend Golisopod, he's got a special ability where once he drops below half HP, he always ejects out. And we can send in a new Pokemon, another way to get around Magma Storm. So Golisopod was pre-damaged at a very specific HP so that he always switches out and he's never dead to the attack that Grimmsnarl goes for. So we're gonna go back into Beedrill. And we're gonna take a tick from Magma Storm. So it does 1/8 of our HP every single turn. At this point, we're faster and we can just kill this guy with the Leech Life. This is going to recover us a little bit of HP. And then the next Pokemon to come in should be Turtonator. For either Draco Meteor or Overheat. And I think it could also click Protect. And actually, since we are at full HP, or no, close to full, this should always be Overheat. Beautiful, so he comes out. This guy kind of packs us up, so we're going to click a U-turn and get out of here and get into our next guy. This should always be Overheat from Turtonator, a Fire-type move. We're going to tank the hit with our big old boy, Jellicent. Goes for Overheat, we eat this for breakfast. Yeah, we're giving him all the back shots, man. We're gonna pack this guy out. Turtonator is holding an item called the Eject Pack. So when his stats drop from a move like Overheat, he's gonna swap out and a new Pokemon's gonna send in. So this should be Incineroar for always knockoff. Intimidate there is fine. Don't worry about that. We'll take Magma Storm on Jelly. And Jelly gets packed up by knockoff here, so we don't want to stay in and take this move. We're going to switch into Primarina. This part's a little bit spooky. We could potentially lose Primarina here. Some bad things happen. Okay, we don't get crit, that's perfect. So we tank the hit, we take Magma Storm. And then Primarina is Never Dead to Earthquake crit. In this game, there's a random chance. It's about 6% every turn. I think it's a 1 in 16 for a move to be what's called a critical hit. And that just buffs your damage by 50%. So it's, you always, when you're going through the game, you want to plan around crits as much as you can. Sometimes you have to risk them and just hope they don't happen. It's a small percent. But if you don't play around it, it's going to catch you at some point when you're not ready for it. We should be safe here though. We can just click Flip Turn. We're going to tank a hit from Incineroar and Flip Turn out into our next guy. So Flip Turn's going to do some damage and it's going to allow us to also switch out. That did a ton of damage. I'm not sure why, but it did more than I thought. It doesn't really matter. We just go into Gallade on the Flip Turn. It did a lot more damage than I was anticipating though, and I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, because, okay, I do know why. It's not super important. But our damage was buffed a little bit, that's okay. We can outspeed and kill this guy with the Drain Punch to heal back up to full HP. This Incineroar was a huge demon. This thing took forever to plan around. We heal up to full. We take Magma Storm. And then I believe this is Turtonator. This should be Turtonator. Yeah, this is Jump Bluff. Okay. So I guess the damage we did with Beedrill earlier messed up the baiting order a little bit. So not who I wanted to see come out. We're gonna have to steer around this a little bit. I think we can manage. We'll just have to be careful. Okay. This thing is super, super scary. It can put us to sleep. It can set up a substitute so that we can't hit it for a turn. It can Leech Seed, and it can flinch us. So I have to be pretty careful with what I go into next. Let me check how much HP we have on Golisopod. It's probably not the play. We got 147. So we are dead to some rolls of crit from Air Slash. It's also not guaranteed to click Air Slash this turn. I can kill Turtonator with Jellicent later, probably. Or with Gallade, maybe, depending on how I set this up. The plan was to kill the turtle first, and then bring in Manectric for this guy. The problem is if I go Manectric, he's not guaranteed to attack us with Air Slash this turn. Which is where it gets spooky. I guess with Gallade, I'm never dead to a crit here. So I could stand and attack this guy. Primarina's too low to go into. Jellicent, we're not going into. Beedrill is also just dead to an Air Slash critical hit. I think I want to stay in with Gallade until Jump Bluff ideally clicks Spore or Leech Seed. I think. Then it's pretty likely to click Substitute on the switch to Manectric. And I don't really want it to have Substitute up on Manectric. It's maybe okay if it happens, but it's not ideal. Let's see, I can probably set up Beedrill to kill this guy. If I go Manectric. If I try and fish out Spore, and then I can go Manectric and Volt Switch into Beedrill. And then kill this guy with Beedrill. And then we get Turtonator out next. I think that's fine. We might be risking a crit on Jellicent, potentially. I don't think I need Gallade after this guy. I don't think I'm getting back in to finish the turtle. So I think I want to stay in with Gallade. Can't go Prim, I don't go Jelly here. I don't go Golisopod. Can't go B, so it's either I stay in or I go to Manectric. If I go to Manectric now and it clicks Spore, it gets pretty spooky, because then it can click Spore again. We've got a Chesto Berry on Manectric in case it puts us to sleep once, we can wake up first turn. But I think I want to stay in with Gallade and probably click Zen Headbutt. Because we're never dead to Air Slash crits plus Magma Storm. And then if it does attack Gallade, we guarantee an attack the next turn. So I think staying in is the play. I'm gonna stay in and click. I think Zen Headbutt is my best play. I could click Shadow Sneak also. I don't think it matters a lot. I think I'm gonna click a Zen Headbutt. Okay, it goes for Leech Seed. That should be fine. And then he's going to get a little bit of recovery from his item leftovers. He's going to get some more recovery because of the Leech Seed. And then we'll take Magma Storm Chip. So the residual really starts to add up with this guy. We can't be flinched because of our ability Inner Focus. So at 138, I am dead to Air Slash Crit. I think this is pretty likely to click Substitute here because it clicked a Leech Seed last turn. So Substitute AI. Yeah, this is pretty likely to click Substitute. I don't think it can click Sleep. I think it's either Substitute or Air Slash. Because of the Leech Seed. But it might be, I think it's below 50%, so maybe it's right at 50%. I think there's an AI quirk where if you're at 50%, it's less likely to click Substitute, but it still could. No, if it's under 50%, or if it's at 50% or lower, it never clicks Substitute. So I think this is either Spore or Air Slash. I can't take Air Slash Crit here. If I go into Manectric and it's Spore, it can click Spore again, which is a little scary. That's what I'm most concerned about. Is really the double Spore into Manectric. Because this thing can also just click Spore this turn, which would be good if it happens. But if it's Air Slash,